supposed to hate Harry and Meghan again today because the house that the late Queen, gifted them, and upon which Harry spent £2.3 million of his own money, has now been confiscated by King Charles. Imagine if you were writing this story from a point of view of not having had your brain boiled by the fact that Prince Harry fell in love with a woman of colour, right? So just pretend that the world hadn't been redefined, or your attitude to the royal family hadn't been redefined by right-wing media apoplectic about the fact that Prince Harry turned the entire pyramid of privilege in this country on his head by falling in love with an actual woman of colour, right? So, and King Charles was currently much more under attack than his sons, okay? Because he used to be very much under attack for the appalling way in which his late wife and Prince Harry's mum was treated, and indeed the way in which the now Queen was insinuated into public life, having her reputation completely rehabilitated thanks to collusion with newspapers, which was, I think seeing her sit down for a meal with Jeremy Clarkson shortly before Jeremy Clarkson wrote that article about Meghan Markle, which reports today suggest might see him deemed surplus to requirements over at ITV, tells you everything you need to know about the nature of those relationships and those quid pro quos. So just imagine that Charles was persona non grata with the right-wing media, and that he had betrayed. This is how you'd write it. Charles betrays his late mother's wishes by depriving Harry of a home in England's green and pleasant land. I'd add that bit as well, a little bit of William Blake there. You can almost hear Hubert Parry tuning up in the background. Cruel Charles, callous Charles. I can't quite get the alliteration. Just sounds a tricky. Cheesy doesn't work. So cruel Charles betrays. Cruel Charles betrays late Queen's wishes by stealing Harry's home. Second line. Harry and Meghan denied place in England's green and pleasant land by jealous parent. You see how it would work? Because the Queen gave them a house and he's taken it away. So betraying the late Queen's wishes. That is how churlish Charles. Thank you. Churlish Charles? Yeah, churlish Charles. It's tricky that because you're weighing up the alliteration with the stronger adjective. So cruel Charles is much stronger. Churlish Charles. Churlish Charles works pretty well, actually. Churlish Charles steals Harry's house. There it is. Churlish Charles steals Harry's house. Second line, late Queen cruelly betrayed by brutal eviction. That's the story, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Churlish Charles has stolen Harry's house. The late Queen wanted him to have it. He spent 2.3 million quid tarting it up, and money he repaid actually to the public purse after stepping down from royal duties. And lo and behold, Charles has demonstrated according to newspapers, he's demonstrated, let me tell you what the Daily Mail have to say about it, because we could always do with a laugh. Charles evicting Harry and Meghan from Frogmore is the act of a king putting his country first. I love showing you how twisted the media is, because if you're not an anorak like me, you probably don't notice. So that headline could easily be exactly the same story. Churlish Charles steals Harry's house. Late Queen betrayed by brutal eviction. That exactly the same story, right? But the invitation to hate in recent years has involved Harry and Meghan, because much of the British media continues to favour a man who paid millions of pounds to a sex trafficking victim who accused him of multiple sex crimes than it does to a man who had the audacity to fall in love with a woman of colour. We've got it. Callous King. Callous King steals Harry's house. That's come from Grant. He's doing a shift as a sub-editor today. Home is better than house, thank you. We're doing this together. Callous King steals Harry's home. Brutal betrayal of late Queen's wishes. That's it, right? Callous King steals Harry's home. Brutal betrayal of late Queen's wishes. And then you'd have people like Amanda Platel writing articles about how terrible he's trampling upon the grave of his beloved mother. It's so awful. It's just pathetic. It is absolutely, it's the infantilization of a nation. I mean, it's been underway for hundreds of years, but occasionally the absurdity, the hypocrisy, the base corruption of it is so irresistible that it can't help sticking its head above the parapet. Callous King steals Harry's home. There it is. So, sorry, that was just a little diversion into who the invitation to hate is being issued to. Who are we supposed to hate today, Keith? Harry and Meghan again, James. Okay, thank you.
And today we'll explore the heartbreaking realities surrounding Prince Harry's home, the Queen's last gift to him, and the betrayal that's captured global attention. Bible verse. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6:7. This verse resonates with the story we are about to unfold as we look at the consequences of betrayal within the royal family and how, despite everything, Harry and Meghan's journey is one of love and perseverance. Imagine for a moment a world where Harry and Meghan are not vilified for the colour of their love, but celebrated for it. A world where the Queen's final wishes for her grandson were honoured, and where the house gifted to Harry wasn't ripped away, leaving him with nothing. Let's unpack this. According to James O'Brien, a voice of reason in an often unreasonable media landscape, this eviction isn't just about property. It's about a deliberate attempt to strip Harry and Meghan of a connection to the UK and to rewrite the narrative around their exit from royal duties. Imagine if this story wasn't clouded by the prejudice that has poisoned so many minds since Harry dared to fall in love with a woman of colour. Imagine a headline like this: Cruel king betrays late Queen's wishes by evicting Harry from Frogmore. It's an accurate description, yet instead of outrage, we're seeing headlines praising Charles as a king, putting his country first. This house, which Prince Harry spent a significant sum of his own money, £2.30 million, renovating, was a symbol of hope. A place where he and Meghan could find some peace, away from the prying eyes of the media. Yet, under the rule of King Charles, it has been taken from them. The late Queen's intentions were clear, and yet Charles has made the decision to take away this gift, leaving Harry and Meghan vulnerable once again. If you are watching this, you are no stranger to the media's relentless pursuit of the Sussexes. For years, Harry and Meghan have been targets of a system that would rather prioritise the interests of the monarchy over the well-being of its own members. Yet when we look deeper, we see the true faces behind these decisions, the ones who benefit from creating division and feeding the narrative of hate. The British tabloids, like the Daily Mail, have long had an agenda to shape public opinion. Just look at the headlines, spinning the story of Charles evicting Harry and Meghan as an act of patriotism. They call it a king putting his country first. But when you remove the bias, you see the truth. This is the brutal betrayal of Harry's home, his sanctuary, a gift from his grandmother. Let's not forget the hypocrisy of the situation. Prince Andrew, embroiled in his own scandal, is still allowed to keep his position and privileges, while Harry is punished for daring to step outside the royal mould and marry a woman of colour. This is not about putting the country first. This is about a larger agenda, one that keeps Harry and Meghan in the public's eye, forever vilified for being different, for loving outside the lines of the royal family's expectations. As the media spins their stories, they invite us to hate Harry and Meghan once more. They paint Harry as a villain, a traitor to the crown, simply because he dares to live his life on his own terms. And while the tabloids churn out these misleading headlines, they conveniently ignore the more pressing issues within the royal family, issues of true scandal and moral failings. King Charles' actions in removing Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage could be seen as a betrayal of his late mother's wishes. The Queen believed in giving Harry and Meghan the freedom to build their own future, and yet her son Charles has chosen to strip that away. This decision sends a message not just to Harry, but to the entire world. Your legacy doesn't matter unless it aligns with the status quo. The question remains, what kind of legacy do we want to uphold? One of division, or one that values love and the courage to break free from the chains of the past? As we close today's discussion, let us reflect on what truly matters. Harry and Meghan have shown us the power of love and resilience, even in the face of unimaginable pressure. They have taught us that standing up for what's right, even when the world is against you, is a noble path to walk. The media and the establishment may continue their attack on the Sussexes, but we stand with them, recognising their strength, their courage, and their unwavering commitment to one another. Thank you for joining me today. Please like, share and subscribe for more updates on Harry, Meghan and the royal family. If today's story moves you, consider supporting us through Super Thanks. Your support helps us continue bringing you the stories that matter. Remember, we are not defined by the hate others try to impose on us. We define ourselves by our actions, by our love, and by our integrity. And as we journey forward, let us continue to show love and compassion, just as Harry and Meghan have done.